Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a fascinating topic today, Japan's train system. All that info you sent over really highlights how complex but amazing it is.
It really is. The sources point to incredible punctuality, efficiency. It's kind of the lifeblood of getting around Japan, covering everything from cities to the countryside.
Yeah, and our mission today is basically to demystify it a bit, right?
Yeah,
Make it less intimidating for anyone planning a trip.
exactly. Confidence in using the trains really transforms your travel experience there.
So let's start with the big picture.
Hmm.
The main split seems to be Shinkansen versus the local lines.
That's the core distinction, yeah. Think Shinkansen, the bullet train, for your fast intercity travel, like Tokyo to Kyoto.
Right, that's a famous one.
Takes about, what, 2.5 hours on the Shinkansen, traveling up to 320 kilometers per hour.
Wow. And local lines for that same trip would be.
Oh, much longer, maybe 7 hours, even more, with lots of changes. So Shinkansen is speed and comfort, but it costs more. You've got your base fare, then a Shinkansen fee, and maybe a seat reservation cost on top.
Okay, makes sense.
Hmm.
And the local and regional trains fill the gaps.
Precisely. They're slower, maybe 50 to 100 kilometers, but they go almost everywhere. JR lines, private companies, city subways. It's a dense network.
And cheaper, usually.
Often, yes. Many just need the basic fare. They're essential for commuting, exploring suburbs, reaching smaller towns.
Got it. So, okay, you're at the station. How do you actually get a ticket? Seems like there are a few ways.
For standard local journeys, the regular automated ticket machines are fine. Just find your destination fare on the map above them.
And for the fancier stuff, Shinkansen, reserved seats.
You look for different machines, usually green or blue ones. They handle Shinkansen tickets, reserve seats, and often have English options and take cards.
What if you need help or have something like the Japan Rail Pass?
Then you head to the staffed counters. The Midori no Madoguchi, the green window, is the main one for JR. Tourist centers might also help.
And those IC cards, like Suica or Pasmo.
Oh yeah, super handy for local travel. Tap on, tap off. Covers JR, subways, buses, and most major cities. You just load money onto them.
Can you use those for the Shinkansen?
Technically yes, but it requires some online registration and linking. It's often simpler for tourists to just buy a separate Shinkansen ticket or use a pass. There are tourist versions like the Welcome Suica too, short-term use.
Okay. Let's talk Shinkansen riding. You mentioned reserved seats.
Right, you've got reserved seats, shitei-seki, which guarantees you a spot, good for busy times, or non-reserved jiu-seki in specific cars where you just find an empty seat.
First come, first served.
Pretty much. And then there are premium options like the green car, which is like business class, and even grand class on some routes, very luxurious.
Yeah, it's a reserve.
On some of the fastest trains, yes, they're reservation only now. For others, it's optional but recommended. You can reserve at those green-blue machines, the counter, or sometimes online.
And the train names, Nozomi, Hikari, Kodama. They mean something important, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. They tell you the stopping pattern. On the main Tokaido Sanyu line, for instance, Nozomi is the fastest, fewest stops. Kodama stops at every single station on that Shinkansen line.
And Hikari.
Hikari's in the middle, semi-fast.
Hmm?
So choosing the name affects your journey time significantly.
And crucially for pass holders.
Right. The standard Japan Rail Pass doesn't cover the Nozomi or the Mizuho trains on the Sanyo Kyushu lines without paying quite a hefty extra fee now, so you'd typically take a Hikari or a Sakura instead.
Good to know. It's not just the Shinkansen, though. Local lines have different speeds, too.
Correct. Even on the same physical track, you'll see different service types. Local, Kakuki Teisha or Futsu, stops everywhere. Then rapid, Kaisoku, express, Kyuku, sometimes limited express, Toki.
And they just skip stations.
Yeah, progressively more stops are skipped as you go up the speed scale. Limited express often needs an extra charge on top of the base fare, similar to the Shinkansen supplement, but usually smaller.
So you need to check the departure boards carefully.
Always. It'll show the train type, destination, platform, and departure time. Don't just jump on the first train on the right track.
Okay, navigating the stations themselves. It can be huge, right? Tokyo Station, Shinjuku.
Oh, definitely overwhelming at first. But the key is methodical sign following. Look for your line name or company logo. They're usually color-coded. Follow that color or name.
Then the platform number.
Then the platform number, exactly. There are usually maps around too, and don't be afraid to ask station staff. They're used to helping tourists. English signage is pretty common in big cities and tourist areas now.
Anything else on the platform itself?
Yeah, look down. There are markings showing where to queue for each car, sometimes even indicating reserved or non-reserved car doors. And again, the electronic boards on the platform give final confirmation.
Right. And once you're on the train, there's a certain etiquette.
Very much so. It's all about consideration for others. Keep noise levels low, no loud conversations, definitely no phone calls. Use headphones for music or videos.
What about food?
On the Shinkansen or long-distance limited express, having a quiet meal or snack like an Ekaben station bento box is totally fine. On crowded commuter trains, though, eating is generally frowned upon.
And queuing.
Luggage, queue neatly in the designated lines. Let people get off the train completely before you try to board. Be mindful of priority seats for elderly or disabled passengers. And manage your luggage, keep it out of the aisle, use overhead racks or designated space. Don't block seats with bags if it's busy.
Seems like common courtesy, mostly, but maybe amplified.
Exactly. Just be aware of your surroundings and try not to disturb others.
Okay, this is a lot to juggle. Technology must help, right? Apps.
Oh, absolutely essential these days. Apps like Japan Transit Planner by Jordan or Japan Travel by Navitime are lifesavers.
What do they do?
Route planning, fare calculation, platform numbers, which car is best for transfers, real-time train status. They even have options to search routes compatible with the Japan Rail Pass.
Google Maps, too.
Google Maps is pretty good for trains in Japan, too, yeah. It integrates a lot of the transit data. Using one of these apps makes things so much smoother.
Which brings us neatly to the Japan Rail Pass. Used to be almost a default buy for tourists, but less so now.
That's the big change, yeah. It's still only for foreign tourists entering on a temporary visitor visa. You buy an exchange order outside Japan, then swap it for the actual pass once you arrive.
Different types available.
Yep. Ordinary or the more expensive green car pass for 7, 14, or 21 consecutive days. Covers most JR trains nationwide.
But the key exclusions are
Still excludes Nozomi and Mizuho Shinkansen unless you buy that add-on ticket. And it doesn't cover non-JR trains like private railways or city subways, which you might use quite a bit depending on your itinerary.
and the cost effectiveness.
That's the crucial point after the big price increase in 2023. You really need to plan out your major train journeys and compare the total cost of individual tickets against the pass price. It's no longer an automatic saving for many typical tourist routes.
So, careful calculation needed.
Definitely. Do the math for your specific trip. Seat reservations are free with the pass, though, which is a nice perk.
Okay, so wrapping up. The key takeaways seem to be understand the Shinkansen versus local split. Know your ticket options from machines to IC cards. Pay attention to Shinkansen service names and local train types.
Use those navigation tools like signs and apps. Definitely follow the train etiquette for a smooth ride. And critically evaluate if the JR Pass actually saves you money now.
Right. It's a system that rewards a little bit of understanding.
It really does. And mastering it, or at least getting comfortable with it, isn't just about transport. It kind of connects you more deeply to how Japan functions, its efficiency, its culture.
A great point. So, thinking about that deeper connection, what unexpected journey, or perhaps a less traveled route, might this knowledge unlock for our listeners? Something to ponder. Thanks for diving deep with us today.